Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of our podcast, where we help you master the art of customer support. But today, we're diving into something even more specific, how mastering English communication can make a world of difference in your call center role. I'm The Rock, your host, and I've got my co-host Alex here with me. Alex has been in the call center industry for years, and he knows all about using effective English skills to communicate clearly with customers. But before we hear from him, let me throw out a few quick tips to get us started. First off, when you're working in a call center, especially in an international one, clear communication is everything. And when I say clear, I don't just mean being fluent in English, I mean knowing how to simplify your language. Not every customer is a native English speaker, and even if they are, using complex vocabulary or long sentences can confuse them. Stick to simple, straightforward English that anyone can follow, and avoid jargon unless you're sure they understand it. Another key element, active listening. This is where a lot of English learners and even fluent speakers get tripped up. If you're not actively listening, it's easy to misunderstand a customer's issue or miss key details. It's not just about knowing the language, but about making sure you understand what's being said. Repeat what the customer has told you in your own words to confirm. This helps avoid any communication breakdown. Alex, I know you've got some amazing insights on using English. Effectively, take it from here.
Thanks, Rock. You're right on point with those tips. I want to add that tone and clarity are incredibly important, especially in English. English has a lot of nuances, and how you say something can change its entire meaning. When you're on the phone, your voice is your biggest asset. So, it's important to speak clearly and slowly, especially if English isn't your first language or if the person on the other end isn't fluent either. This helps prevent misunderstandings and makes it easier for the customer to follow your instructions.
Yeah, slowing down is key. It's so tempting to rush through, especially if you're used to speaking fast, but customers appreciate it when you take your time.
Exactly. Another thing to keep in mind is that English is a global language and accents vary. If you have a strong accent, that's perfectly fine. Accents are part of who we are, but it's still important to make sure your pronunciation is clear. Practice common customer service phrases and troubleshooting steps so that you're comfortable saying them. For example, phrases like, "Let me assist you with that," or "I'm going to guide you through the steps" are great ones to have ready. And when you say them clearly, it reassures the customer that you're in control. Also, when you're handling technical support, avoid overcomplicating the language. Many customers won't know what a router or a modem is, so it's important to use easy-to-understand English. You could say, "Let's check the device that gives you internet," instead of using technical terms that might confuse them. Always be ready to break things down into simpler terms. And that's where your English skills really come into play.
Great point. English learners, this is crucial for you. Whether you're explaining technical issues or helping with a product, you have to be prepared to rephrase things in multiple ways. If one explanation doesn't work, try another that uses different words.
Exactly. And on that note, another important tip is to use positive language. Even if you're delivering bad news or telling the customer that something can't be done, using positive phrasing can soften the blow. Instead of saying, "I can't do that," you could say, "What I can do for you is," or "Let's explore some other options." This is where your choice of English words really matter. Positive language shows that you're solution-oriented and willing to help, even when the answer might not be what they wanted to hear.
That's a great one, Alex. The right words can turn a negative situation into a positive one. And while we're talking about positivity, let's touch on the importance of building rapport using English. Even in stressful situations, using polite, respectful language like "Thank you for your patience," or "I really appreciate your understanding," helps customers feel valued. Small phrases like these can make a huge difference in how a customer perceives the entire call.
Yes, and to add to that, try to personalize your conversations. One of the best ways to do that in English is to use the customer's name. People respond positively when they hear their name, and it makes the interaction feel more human. It's as simple as saying, "John, I understand this issue has been frustrating," or "Sarah, I'm here to help you." Using their name builds a connection, and that's especially powerful in customer service.
And speaking of connection, let's talk about cultural sensitivity when using English. English is spoken differently around the world, and certain phrases or tones can come across differently depending on where your customer is from. Being aware of cultural nuances and how you communicate can really help. For example, in some cultures, being overly direct can come across as rude, while in others, it's expected. Learning these subtleties can make your English communication more effective.
Exactly. You also want to be mindful of professional language. When you're working in a support role, using casual English or slang can sometimes come off as unprofessional, even if the customer is friendly. Stick to polite, formal language. Instead of saying, "Okay, cool," try something like, "That sounds great. I'm happy to assist." The more professional your English sounds, the more confident the customer will feel in your ability to help them.
Yeah, I know you dude on the call, right?
Exactly. Save the dude for after work. But jokes aside, one of the final tips I have is to always keep improving your English skills. Whether you're a native speaker or someone learning English, there's always room to grow. Read articles, listen to podcasts, watch customer service training videos in English, and keep practicing your conversation skill. The better you get at English, the easier it will be to handle calls smoothly, explain things clearly, and build trust with customers.
And remember, even if English isn't your first language, the more you use it in the call center environment, the more natural it will feel. Practice makes perfect, and every call you take is a chance to improve. Don't worry about being perfect right away, just focus on getting better each day.
Absolutely. So to recap, use simple and clear language. Speak slowly and clearly. Be positive and professional. And most importantly, keep learning and improving your English. Whether you're dealing with a technical issue or just offering support, mastering English communication is your key to success in the call center world.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. English is a powerful tool in customer support, and if you apply these tips, you'll be on your way to handling calls like a pro. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with anyone looking to sharpen their communication skills. Until next time, keep those conversations smooth and stay patient out there.
Stay focused, stay positive, and keep improving your English skills. We'll see you next time on the podcast. Subscribe my channel for more interactive and useful content.